Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? No way. Sorry, I've just seen the comments there. Bray Wyatt's died. I thought so. That's blew my socks off, that. I couldn't believe that in the chat there. Yo, that's mad. I'm really, really sorry, folks. As I was reading it, I was like, what? And I quickly Googled it. That's mad. That's blew my socks off a little bit. He's very, very young as well. Big up to Bray Wyatt, by the way. Really sorry about that. 1987, I'm 88, so he's 34, man. 34, you know. Oh, I feel a bit bad now. I had this big intro and all that sort of stuff. Big up to Bray Wyatt, by the way. If you know, it's a wrestler. Big him up. Right, okay. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. My apologies for the lateness, but lateness is greatness and all that sort of jazz. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. Joel Piroe is now a Leeds United fan. I'm sorry for the attire. As you know, I've been in this room all day. I'm sweating my tits off. I went and had a shower, getting ready for bed. But of course, we had to bring you the late night Leeds. It's almost morning, actually. It's almost early morning Leeds. But yeah, without further ado, let's get the dream team on. The dream team. No Andrea tonight. Too late for him over in Italy. But we are joined by a very special guest, and that very special guest, along with Lockie, is, of course, Mr. Oscar Marriott. I did ask Oscar Marriott to come on, and he went, oh, I'm tired, I've got work. And then he texted me back and went, Joe, I can't sleep, I'm too excited, I'll come on. And I was like, yeah.
It actually is true. I can't even exactly how it happened, but rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. There's many a Saturday morning. I watched some of his legendary moves, to be fair. Yeah, that's it's mad. So young, that man.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Yeah. How are you though, Oscar? Yeah, you've come on, you can't sleep, you're excited. Talk to me, man. Can you believe we never get nice things? That was coined all the time by Dan Moylan, big up the square ball. Always says we never get nice things, and we don't. I can't remember the last time that a player was the envy of all the league and Leeds United managed to get that said player. And we've done it, man. We have done it. How do you feel about this, bro?
Mate, I cannot believe how easy it is. It's actually caught me by surprise. I apologise for the camera here because I'm actually using my phone to upload to all these TV at this moment in time because I didn't expect to be doing a video tonight. I did not expect this to be this easy. I thought it'll get to tomorrow and it'll just like fizzle out. Typical Leeds, but chefs Farke and Hammond are in that kitchen and they are cooking the most scrumptious, delicious meal for us here at this moment in time. I mean, it's not just Joel Piroe either. It's like other signs on top of that. I mean, if it was just Joel Piroe, you'd be excited. But it's the fact there's other bits and pieces happening on top of that as well. Absolute scenes. Absolute scenes, mate.
That's the thing is, Lockie, we've been so deprived as a Leeds United fan base that if we just had Joel Piroe, we'd probably get to the end of the window and go, yeah, they did get us Joel Piroe, though. But the fact that we're not done, and the Amiri thing, it blew my socks off because last night we were all excited, bro. Sat here.
Yeah.
Then in the morning, we get the news, and then all of a sudden, I went for a nap, bro. I woke up at 1 o'clock and my phone was going off. I was like, "What's going off here?" And then it was all back on all of a sudden, and it sounds, according to Phil, that Amari's going to be done possibly tomorrow as well. Madness.
Completely wild. Like you said, we did this last night and we were like, oh, we could be getting him. And then looked at my phone this morning and the first thing I see on Twitter is just, he's not going to Marseille.
I knew it. I can't be asked anymore.
That's what I can't be asked. but then I had a little notification on what's this? And I saw Armani again and I went, oh, he could be back on here. But the thing about the Joel Piroe stuff, this morning, there were no fee agreed.
No,
that's happened so quick. That's wild. How and he's done his medical. He's signed all in the space of a few hours. But like, you know what I like about the Joe Piroe stuff as well? I don't like it. There's no video or anything.
Yeah.
To me, that says we've got to keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Well, do you know what else I think it says? He's playing on the weekend because he has to be announced He has to be announced medical all done before. Benjamin Bloom was saying to me, the fact that he's signed tonight means he'll play at the weekend because he'll be registered.
I think it's fair to say he'll be part of the squad. He's been played for Swansea as well. He's match fit.
That's what I'm saying. He's already played 4 games if you count the cup. So he's ready. And we don't have a striker, let's be real. So Joel could come straight in, bro. I'm actually on his debut.
We've signed a number 9, who is number 7. We've signed a striker, like an actual fully striker, no youth player, no project, a striker that scored goals for 2 years in this league at the top level.
Yeah.
We signed him, he's ours. We've got him. Wild, sensible, Leeds United. Who'd have thought?
Exactly. And Oscar, me and you in the group chat with Locks. Locks is well liked on this channel in the comments. But we have had to deal with his ramblings for weeks now. He thought he was getting Piroe. It's nice for us to look at it now. And I did a little YouTube short and clip that I put out on social media earlier on. If we get the signatures we're supposed to, I don't think it's wild to make the claim that this will be the best 11 in the league.
No, it's not wild at all, mate. Honestly, it's not wild at all. I mean, I think you'll see, I said to Locks in the chat, like, where are Leicester miles stronger than Leeds? There's no
he's here, look. He's here. He's here. Well, he's here.
Here he is. Here he is as well. Here he is.
Right on cue.
Sinistera isn't as good as Harry Winks, a kid. And right, okay. I still can't believe what my eyes saw this morning in the group chat. He had Kiernan Dewsbury Hall and Harry Winks in the top 5 Championship players. 2 Leicester midfielders in the top 5 Championship and not just top 5 Championship midfielders, top 5 Championship players. I have never seen such outrageous claims. Honestly, outrageous. And I am sorry, but you're going to get cooked in the comments here. I can feel it already. I can feel the typing coming in here. You cannot have 2 Leicester midfielders in your best 5 players in the Championship. Anyway, Joel Piroe, it's just such a statement, isn't it? I think all the relegated clubs, Southampton, Leicester, Atalanta, we've seen strong links there. Southampton, I think we all assumed at one point that, Martin link, they'll go and play. And there actually was genuine interest if you look at Twitter. In terms of this morning, I think Southampton were looking at Nathan Wood and Joel Piroe, and in the end, there was definitely you cannot tell me that Russell Martin and Joel Piroe have not spoken since Russell Martin left Swansea. He's seen something in this project. The fact he didn't sign the contract at Swansea, Joel Piroe has made this happen. Joel Piroe, if he wanted to, could have got himself a move to the Premier League. He scored 22 goals and 19 goals at this level. There's way less proven goal scorers that have got moves to the Premier League. Cameron Archer, for one, I'm not picking on Cameron Archer. I think he's a really good player. We only played half a season at this level last year. Prolific as well. But, again, not as proven, not as big a body of work as what Joel Piroe has. So he made this move happen and he's committed to it. And Amiri as well. There is clearly something brewing here. Okay, we can't see it on the pitch yet, but there's clearly something going on off the pitch that players are thinking, why this sudden Luis Sinistera change?
Yes, exactly.
Why this sudden Wilfred Gnonto seemingly backing down, you'd assume. The whole atmosphere's changed. Somebody's clicked into gear here, and you've seen other names linked as well. Jed Spence as well. I've just seen him in the comment in the.
I can't.
Not Jed Spence himself, by the way, but just Jed Spence.
I think. Oscar, I don't know if I'd be more surprised if we managed to pull Jed Spence off. I think that's huge, man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the fact was so good at this level for Forest, and the fact that I think most of us saw when he went to Tottenham and thought, what's the sign of that is for Tottenham? He's going to really make it. He's going to be like another Reece James kind of thing. He's going to really step up into the Premier League level. But again, working under Antonio Conte, it hasn't quite worked out for him. And he just feels, we've seen it before with Daniel Farke, with these kind of players. He's project players kind of thing. He has revived careers before at Norwich, and there's no reason why he can't do the same with Jed Spence. He's already got a body of work at this level. He's already, as we kind of said off air, he kind of suits perfectly to a T what we want from our fullback. Listen, it depends a lot on Cody Drama as well, what's happening with that situation. But Jed Spence, I mean, that if you got an opportunity to sign Jed Spence, that is hard to turn down. And it's a loan 100%. Move as well. I would prefer it to be a loan with obligation, so we're not just developing someone else's player and then they're going to take him off us a bit like a Ben White. But if you can make that happen, That is
Amazing.
unreal. But this is what I'm talking about. It's not just Joel Piroe. You know, even if it was just Joel Piroe, would be excited. But the fact that it's other players on top of that, you've got the 10 and the 9. You have the combination there arriving. You know, you've got players coming back into the team. I mean, look at the bench we could have at Ipswich. You know, you've got Sinisterra and Monzo. Piroe, if he doesn't start, Drama, Creswell, Darlow.
It's mad how much it's changed.
We've got an actual bench.
Yeah,
we've actually got a bench here. But listen, I agree with Andrea what he was saying last night in terms of Joel Piroe. Does he naturally fit the system? But I think the excitement's got the better of me here.
Of course, man. When they come through the door, it does, bro. Who cares? Who cares, man? Do you know what I mean?
He might not fit the system perfectly, but he can basically swat the ball from 30 yards into the top corner on a regular basis with his right or left foot. I think it's LUFC data put a tweet out that he got 44 goals for Swansea out of 31 XG. So he's outperforming his XG by 13 goals across 2 seasons. That is absolutely insane. I think that's kind of like, not even messing it. That's like Haaland's kind of overperformance of XG. You know, listen, I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying that, that's sort of.
We'll take it, man. We've got the championship Haaland.
Haaland kind of overperformance, but unreal.
Yeah.
You've got the players around him to complement it. It's just having a number 9 that is a good finisher. It just feels like we haven't had that since. Ross McCormack? I don't know.
I know, it's mad.
Like a natural finisher that we've had.
Yeah. Lockie, I watched a compilation of his earlier. I think my favourite goal is when he hit it, right, with his left, like from outside the box, and it hit the post. And he followed the ball and it came back out to him and he puts it in.
Bristol City away. He passed it to the post and just.
I was like, fucking hell, he's assisting himself off the post here. This guy scores goals.
The celebration as well. It was just like, I meant that.
I've just done that. Yeah. What were you saying, Lockie?
No, this shows as well. So now, what convinced him so quickly? It could be many things. The manager is one of them, of course. But if he's heard or seen that Nanto, Somerville, and Sinisterra are staying, he's going, we're playing with some real ballers here. Of course, I'll go there. They're going to the Premier League. Amiri might have seen that with Sinisterra. Now might have seen Joel Piroe signed best player, best striker in the Championship that is still here. Amiri might see that and say, all right, there's a real project here. That people see Amiri sign, then the next player, Jed Spence, is looking, going, wow, look at this team now. This team's looking crazy. Painsill might see that. Do you know what I mean? Every good player you get, another player will look at that and go, this is a better and better project each day. So that's why the train needs to keep going now. We need to keep this up and get more in. I just want to say something as well on when we talk about not fitting the system, of course, what you do is you make him fit because he's that good.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned Haaland there, Oscar, like Pep did with Haaland. He was never a perfect fit for a Pep side. But what Pep did went, right, I've got one of the best finishers in the world here. I'll make you fit. And Daniel Farke will do that with Piroe because, and look at his goals. He hits it so well, doesn't he? There's none of this slicing it that we're used to for the last 10 years. You know what I mean? He just hits it hard. And it's always on target. Yeah, this is a state. We've got the best. Jack Chris has gone. Akpom's gone. We've got the best striker in the Championship.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I think
not just goal scoring either. He's got big potential for assists. You know, the way he cuts in for the right hand side, just plays that ball over the top. You're thinking Sinisterra running onto that, Nanto, Somerville running onto those kind of passes. It didn't have that at Swansea. He's got big potential to get sort of 5-10 assists this season as well, and a bit of creative threat there too. But it's just we don't do business like this. We don't sign players that are proven at the level we play at, even in the Premier League. You know, people talk about Rafinha and that lot. I'm not saying he's anywhere near Rafinha's level, but we didn't make signs like this in the Premier League either, where, really just getting our elbows out and saying, you know what, we're going to bully other teams in this Championship. We're going to force, Piroe not to sign the contract. We're going to make it difficult for Swansea. And just revenge for the Dan James saga, isn't it, really? If we're being honest. Just lovely, sweet revenge for that. And the bitterness in the Swansea comments as well, honestly, just injects it in terms of he's overrated, mediocre club, cheers for the 10 million, all this lot. You're thinking,
you can have the 10 million, we've got the best striker in the league.
Exactly.
He's carried you for 2 years, basically.
Yeah, definitely goes without saying. And I was talking to Benjamin Bloom earlier on, and if anyone had watched the video, please do. And we had a chat about Ipswich, but more so the Championship as a whole. And you know, he said he was excited to see what he does, but also made that comparison that he isn't a Timu Pukki, and it will be interesting to see how he gets on. And I'd mentioned about, because I'd seen your great Fred as well, and obviously speaking to Lockie and Andrea on a regular basis that know much more about the game than me. And they were saying that, like, how he will have runners, you know, ahead of him, and that can only be a positive. And I'm excited to see the combination with him and Amiri, provided we get that done. And it looks like we will. It definitely looks like we will. And I mean, like I say, I think just taking it back to the presser, Lockie, to hear Daniel Farke speak was phenomenal. That even Benjamin Bloom watched that presser, and he said, I couldn't believe like how he said all the right things, and you know, hearing him how he dealt with the Sinisterra thing. Although it's clear him and Cini made a decision, it weren't, you know, I'm doing. But the way he spoke about Nonto, and it's I mean, it's gone from this morning to being on the floor to lunchtime thinking, oh my God, not only are we getting signings, the squad now looks stacked with Nonto, Cini, Somerville. Is there an injury update on Somerville? Because he didn't mention it. So hopefully he's involved as well. But yeah, it's mad, isn't it? How different it looks now.
It is wild when you look at it. And going on Daniel Farke a second, people talking about signings, that's the best one right there. Because he has allowed all in this tricky situation we've been in since the takeover or before. Daniel Farke is that one consistent we've had. That little bit of, when it's been dark, that little bit of hope, a little few words he says, you know, at his press conferences just give you a little bit of hope. He's been smiling all the way through. He's been telling us to wait. This is what he means now. The way he's dealt with the Nonto situation, firm but fair, harsh if he needs to be. The Sinisterra situation. And now the players talking about Amiri, who apparently they had discussions, and if he does join us, they're still if obviously he is a big part of why, because he spoke to Daniel Farke and they had that communication. We have to put so much respect on his name. What I will be interested to see if we get all these players, now it's on him to get, you know, get wins. That will come eventually, but right now, everything he's saying, everything he's doing, you look at the squad from last week and now, and let's be real here, Sinisterra players, right? American League, shout out to those guys.
Yeah, man.
Sinisterra players, we've got the best left winger in the league. The Piro players, we've got the best striker in the league. Amiri players, you've arguably got the best 10 in the league. Ampadu, he's up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I just say, Lockie, though? Locks was trying to compare Elias Chair with Amiri. He was saying that Sinisterra isn't as good as Nathan Teller. This is.
Do you know what? I really like Elias Chair, I do. And if we didn't get Amiri, I'd go for him, you know what I mean? But it's Amiri.
Yeah.
He's different. This guy's different.
Is this the best team in the league? On paper. On paper.
If we get if we get Amiri and maybe like a Pencil in there or someone like that, and a Jed Spence, you talking about that, or you talking about just with Joel Piroe?
No, just so so I'm talking Melier goal, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Byram, Rodon, Schauk, and a right back. Hopefully Jed Spence. That would be huge. You've then got Ampadu and Gray, and then ahead of that, you've got Cini, you've got Somerville, you've got Amiri, and you've got Piroe. On the bench, then you're talking Nonto, you're talking Ayling, you're talking Dan James, you know. So and Dan James, if we're being real, has been our most exciting and effective attacker, and he won't even get in the first 11 after the international break. For me, anyway.
I think in terms of a starting 11, if you say you do get a Jed Spence and you add Amiri in there, it's definitely the best 11 in my opinion. The depth is still, the depth is still a worry.
Still an issue. In midfield specifically.
Yeah. We definitely need to bolster up full-back areas in midfield after if the Amiri goes through, if Piro and we get a right back, we still need 1 or 2 midfielders for me because we do need depth. It's a 46 game season. But as a starting 11, and to put in our manager's Daniel Farke as well, that is the goals in that team. Like, let's be real here. Sinisterra in this league can get 15 if he's fit all season. Piroe can get 20, 25 in this team. You know what I mean? Amiri can chip in with 10.
Yo, Rutter, we forgot about Rutter.
What this will do now, what this will do, it'll take pressure off Rutter and it'll give him time to grow and develop. And he might come in near Christmas, might get a little bit of game time. He might score some goals, because he's got a high ceiling for me. So this is only a good thing. I think it's hard to say whether it's the best in the league in terms of 11, but I think in terms of players and personnel, we've not seen it play together yet, obviously.
No.
But on paper, it's a really, really strong 11 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oscar, once we get that first win over the line, it's all time to go. And I'm not, to be honest, if I'm being real, as excited as I am, I'm not expecting it to come Saturday because I think Ipswich are really good and it'll be very tough. But then,
the script writers,
true. No, you're right, bro.
Joel Piroe coming off the bench. Cold
you are right. Yeah.
No, I agree though. It'll be very tough at Ipswich.
Very tough.
And I think our season starts after deadline day. I really do think it starts after deadline day. If we can win against Ipswich, it's a boost. But I do agree with you, mate. I think it's going to be tough to win there. But the thing is, you get one win, momentum builds. Then it really does start to build. We've got an international break as well, which comes in quite nicely. A lot. Yeah. We've got a talented squad. A lot of them won't go on international duty necessarily. So you've got time to bed in Piroe. Bed in Amiri, potentially Jed Spence if that happens. You've got time to bed these players in, and the game before the international break is against Sheffield Wednesday. Be a tough game, yes, but they are not in great shape either.
It'll not be tough, mate. They're brutal, man.
I'm not going to go too far.
I know.
Too many times in that game where we've looked miles better and somehow always get a result against us. But this time it feels like it'll be different. But it's just phenomenal, isn't it? Yeah, we actually are building a really good team. But I will say, I think the start 11 is the best in the league. The depth, though, could be an issue with the 46-game season. And obviously, Sinisterra, the type of tackles that are going to go in on Sinisterra, when he comes back into the team, some of the same, already kind of had that. We probably will pick up some impact injuries. The fact Farke does like to properly train him, we might pick up some muscle injuries during the season. So it would be nice to have a bit of depth. But if you look at the technical base of the team in the spine, Rodon, Struick, Gray, Ampadu, Amiri potentially, Joel Piroe. Not just this season. I can't think, genuinely now, I'm not even messing, probably have to go back to that Wolves team, Wolves outrageous team they built. Ridiculous. Technically, a team that's that good in terms of just on a purely technical basis. How would you get the ball off that team? They can play through pressure, play passes. It's maybe Melier, of course, is lacking with his feet, but again, he doesn't really have to do much. He just needs to literally pass the ball left or right to Struick or Rodon and let them do the rest. And then that's the other thing with Piroe. He can drop into midfield like a Kane does. Not obviously he's not as good as Kane, but I mean at championship level, he can do that in terms of be a real difference maker in that sense. Take a centre back away, create the space for Sinisterra and Nonto to run into. It can really work. But obviously, we know Daniel Farke in the past has always preferred to have a poacher in the number 9 position. But there's no reason why you can't have a creator as the 9 and then a poacher from the wings. Sinisterra, I agree with Rocky, easy 15 goals this season. He's such a threat. And there's no, and for me, he is the best player in the league. I know the injury problems. I know he's maybe not been proven yet in a Leeds shirt, but fundamentally, I think he is the best player in the league, the player 100%. That really can take this league by storm. But yeah, I think for the neutral, I think you've got a potentially phenomenal battle there between the 3 relegated teams for them top 2 places, to be fair. And, maybe, we might see another team come into it as well. But I really don't think anyone will run away with it at this moment in time. I think it's going to be a really good battle. And all of a sudden, those 5 points to Southampton, 7 to Leicester don't look so big. We've got 43 games to make it up. We've got to play them twice as well. It's just injuries. That's the only concern I've got. It's just injuries. The players, someone like Piroe is going to be targeted by championship centre-backs, in terms of players going to try and wipe him out, no VAR and stuff like that. We've already seen a little bit of it. That's why I'm going to be a bit greedy as well and say I want Panstill too.
You mentioned poacher wingers as well, Oscar. Panstill is that guy. Panstill 1-on-1 is brilliant. Most of his goals last year from the wing came from 1-on-1 positions. So yeah, that'd be a phenomenal signing. Really
Let
good.
let me just quickly get some super chats in. James B says sleep is for weak lads. Do you know what? I can't lie to you. The amount of time I've spent in this room, right? I feel like fecking Fabrizio Romano. I tell you, all right. I think I'll sleep for about a week once this transfer window's done. Brett says other teams will now be starting to look at us. Yes, they will get put on notice. PRM says, Prim, evening chaps, I can't believe we signed Piroe, the one I've been saying all window. Exactly. I think we all in the back of our mind thought it won't happen. We'll say it, but it won't happen. And it has. It says, if we get Amiri and have attack of Cini, Cree, Amiri, Piroe, it's monstrous. It certainly is. Yeah. Dave says, it will be a strong 11. Stop going over the top. The reason I put that up is because I say to you, Dave, give me another stronger 11 in the championship and then I'll stop going over the top. The answer to that question is you cannot. You cannot. So therefore, I will go over the top. If you can list me an 11 in the championship that's out there now that's stronger than what we may have, then I commend you and I will apologise. But I struggle to see that. Yeah, man, it's brutal, mate. I'm tired, but we do it. It's all for the grind. I know Lockie's the same, but it's got to be done, hasn't it, broski? It's got to be done. Yeah, man. So does he feature for you at the weekend, bro?
Yeah, I think all the signs you mentioned, the talking about the there was no video today, none of that rubbish, straight signed. Yeah, for me, yeah, he plays. I don't think he doesn't start, obviously. I think he's on the bench. Might get a few minutes for sure. Yeah. He's already match fit. Plays for Swansea. System won't matter right now. Get him on the bench. He'll score you a goal if he comes on, 100%. For sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. Oscar's still here. I've just dropped him out because he's had to turn his screen off. I thought he'd be doing something, but I'll bring him back in. It just looks aesthetically better. Yeah. So what about? I tell you what, we've got over 1,000 people watching, by the way, which is huge when you consider it's 12:15. So yeah, please pay your rent and smash the likes. There's only about 300 on it. Don't forget tomorrow night as well. We will be doing the big match preview. And I'll be doing Chelsea Luton as well at like 8 o'clock till 10, and then we'll have the big match preview. Just on Nonto, bro, I think he's involved on the weekend as well. And I think Cini comes straight in, especially with the injury to James. He mentioned James has got an adductor issue. So I'd imagine Cini comes back in.
It'd be interesting to see who he starts. I think they'll all be involved. I do think Nonto, and I don't think they'd have mentioned it like the way he did, unless because he tried to reassure us that they are ready. So I think that means they'll be part of the squad. Will they start? Let's see. With the James problem as well, that potentially, but they'll be part of the squad, and that's it for me. That's a good start. Them coming on is ridiculous. I don't know if Somerville's fit, but the starting 11 is going to be an interesting one. Like you said, though, I think if we can get through tomorrow and I'd take a point 100% against Ipswich, who play really well. Yeah. And then you really push on, get these players fully fit, get new players integrated for that Sheffield Wednesday game at Ellen Road. It's at Ellen Road, right?
No, when? On Sheff Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, sorry.
Get all the players ready for that game. That atmosphere could be electric, with all this news. Yeah, for me, I personally think he starts in this era, but we don't know how fit he is. We don't know how much fit he is, so we'll see.
No,
I think.
That's a good point. Everyone's saying welcome Farke Oscar. Yeah, he's come back a totally different guy. He looked like
I did say what the reason was. I basically given up on uploading this Piro video tonight because I saw it was 12:15 and YouTube was just doing me in with the uploads. Yeah. So if you guys can watch it, it'll be out later in the morning. Honestly, my voice actually hurts because I don't think I've ever shouted more in the Leeds video instead of excitement saying he will be a Dutch international. He did choose us. We got great value.
Do you know we've got a nice little Dutch contingent growing with Struijk and Somerville and now Piroe. So we've got the future of the Dutch.
Is all about,
yeah, man. I even seen Connor wearing an old retro Holland shirt on his video. Yeah, it's a nice shirt. Yeah, it's a very nice shirt. I can't lie. Bloody hell, guys, up late, loving news in sunny San Jose. Keep up the great work. Well, Prasada Vindala, that's why we do late night Leeds, because there is a lot of people who support Leeds United on the other side of the pond, and that's why we go a little bit later, and I tend to do one during the day just so everyone gets a shot at that. So it's thank you for being here and thanks for your help. I was just saying, Oscar, there just to Lockie. do you see a situation where Willie, Cine, are they involved on the weekend for you, especially with James's injury?
I think one of them might be. I don't know if both will be, but I could see it, Certainly on the
Who's going to play on the
side.
left if not? Who's going to play on the left? For me, I think you have
exactly that. I think Sinistera, if it's going to be one of the two, I think like Sinistera one seemed like less of a drama. Farke kind of alluded to that one a little bit less. And I think Sinistera is the better one for this game in terms of just pure output and just someone who's just a pure goal threat on the pitch. But yeah, either one's a big boost. As much as Dan James was good against West Brom, I think the quality level just goes up another level. If one of them is on the pitch, there's no doubt about that. But I'd still think Dan James off the bench can be a useful profile to have in the squad.
100%, yeah.
But I've not been as big on Dan James as what others have been in terms of performances so far this season. I think it's only with that West Brom
Oscar, let's be real, mate. I was seeing compilations and posts about Jamie Shack being the best player of the season. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is what we're doing? I was going, is this what we're doing? Are we setting ourselves up for a season of people saying Jamie Shack is the best player in the squad? I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then,
it's like Ethan Amper doing Archie Gray played golf or something. Honestly, it's for me, I think they've been clear so far in terms of best players. Yeah. Pascal's had a good season so far as well, but I think that's the good thing. You see him. We've gone from that talking about no disrespect to Jamie Shackleton, but we've gone from that to then talking about Joel Piroe, Amiri, Jed Spence has just come out of nowhere, and so you're thinking, right? I thought we were quite happy with our right back situation, but no, we're going to go aggressive, and it does feel like what we wanted. And what I will say is that I just want to talk about the 49ers a little bit. I've flip-flopped a lot on the 49ers, not going to lie to you. I've gone from being positive at the start. We were linked with Bielsa.
You're talking to the choir here, bro. I was ready to go Niners out, bro. Niners out.
No, you were going for it after that Birmingham game. But no, to be fair, I lost my head after that Birmingham game as well. I did not see what we were trying to do. I just thought we are destined to be like 13th or 14th here. But what I'll say is that I was very positive at the start when Rodgers, Bielsa were going for big names in terms of the managers hunt, and I was happy when we got Farke, and then it kind of just dropped off a little bit. Then we got sucked in again when we got Ampadu through the door. Then it dropped off again. But now I can kind of see what we're trying to do. We're trying to kind of almost drip feed players into the squads kind of thing, and so it's easier to integrate them. I think it's easier to integrate 1 or 2 players at a time than say 5 or 6 into the squad straight away, because let's be honest, Leicester and Southampton have started the season well, but it's not functioned as well as it could do. In terms of the team they've got on paper, should be beating Cardiff a lot more comprehensively. They should be beating Huddersfield a lot more comprehensively. They've not got the top level performance from all those players so far. Certainly Southampton, they've been obviously good because they're near the top end of the table, but not as good as I thought they were going to be.
But if you take Shea Adams out of that side, bro, he's got 3 and 3. Then what? Do you know what I mean?
Teller as well.
Teller, yeah,
exactly. They were already there, kind of thing. It's so that's the thing there. But you have to say, it's like a Jed Spence probably wasn't available at the start of the window. It's only the fact that Tottenham under Ange, he's had that pre-season under Ange, first couple of games. It's become clear that he wants Piroe at right back. He wants Emerson Royale at right back instead.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that's become an option. That we've left it late. Suddenly, that's become an option. Amiri at Bayer Leverkusen. Maybe he was in Xabi Alonso's plans at Bayer Leverkusen at the start of pre-season, but then they've done a bit of recruitment, Bayer Leverkusen, and it's become obvious that he's not. Those are 2 players potentially that have come free, out of nothing.
Yeah.
Joel Piroe, another one. In the fact that at the start of the window, you had Atlanta chasing him, Leicester chasing him, Southampton chasing him, all sorts of clubs, and the fee that was getting spoken on was 15 to 20 million. At that point, but the fact that we've kind of backed off. We've seen that Atlanta and Leicester have done the same thing. We've saved like 10 million potentially, on Joel Piroe. And yes, obviously it's frustrating the start to the season we've had, but I can see what the thinking was, off this board. Nick Hammonds at Newcastle did a bit of research on when he actually made the signings at Newcastle, because we all talk about that January window that completely transformed Newcastle's fortunes. Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn, Gimenez and Chris Wood, obviously, was less successful. But they actually left a lot of those signings late in the window. Gimenez was late on in the window. So this might have actually been part of Nick Hammond's thinking.
Yeah.
Another factor as well is the fact that I'm not going to say the source of information I got this from. It wasn't a club source, but it was a source that was quite close to things and knows, quite a bit that was going on at the time at the start of pre-season. Max Berber, Tyler Adams, and Jack Harrison I think the source believes caught the 49ers out a little bit. They believed they were counting on them to stay, and I think they gave noises that were going to stay. How many media outlets do we see tweet out that Max Berber is committed to the cause, Tyler Adams is committed to the cause, Jack Harrison won't be going anywhere? I believe them players were naughty, to be honest, for Leeds United. I really do believe them players are naughty, and have left us in a bit of a mess, in that situation. There's got to be something in the facts that the other players that left on loan left right at the start of the window. It felt like we cleared out the players we didn't want straight away. First thing it felt like we did under Daniel Farke. And then all of a sudden, little by little, players decided they want to go as well. And it's not just Sinisterra and Nonto. They've had a lot of criticism. I do believe them three players. Listen, I'll never be against someone trying to better their careers, but I don't know. I just think with Verber and Adams especially, I didn't like the way they went about it. I didn't like the way Adams tried to do a bit of PR. A bit of PR for that month before he left. I just thought, really, when I look at it, I thought, bit fraudy, isn't it? Really, in terms of really ever invested into the project. It was all about passion merchants on the pitch and things like that. Yeah. And I think that really didn't help us either, in terms of the 49ers, and the fact that we got Farke so late, it has, and the fact that the transfers, we couldn't do anything until the ownership got ratified, and that took a long time as well. So, listen, it's all about what we do at the end of the window. There's still business to do. We still have to improve the depth. As much as we've got an unbelievable starting 11, we have to improve the depth over a 46-game season. Saturday, Tuesday, high-intense style of football. We're going to have to improve the depth. But to be fair to the 49ers, if we get the other bits of business done late on in this window, I think the strategy is being 8, 9 out of 10, because I don't think Amiri and Jed Spence we could have got if we tried to do it at the start of the window. We would have ended up with the Elias Chair, still a good player, but waiting that a little bit longer, seeing what players are not wanted by the top Premier League and Bundesliga clubs. I'm talking so fast here on a voice, but I'm so excited. But it's I don't know if I'm making sense here, but I don't think those signings would have been as possible if we'd have gone in, with 2 feet right at the start of the window. Yeah,
I think it's fair to say, Lockie, that and I've used this as a stick to sort of beat the 49ers with, and it is very risky. It is very, very risky, but they clearly looked at data analysts and all that sort of stuff as to how to best be promoted from the championship, and a lot of it was based on player retention, and that they were let down, and I also think they were very naive though as well to think players were going to stay. They don't get off for me, but I do think they were let down. I agree with what Oscar was saying. But the thing is, they've probably analysed it and said, right, when's the best time to move in the window?
100%.
The week before, and that's what they're doing. It's a risky strategy, but if it comes off like Richard's just said, it's high risk, high reward, and it looks at this moment in time, Lockie, that it is going to come off, bro.
That's it, and the later it gets, the more I guess you're looking for the higher tier, the Premier League squads, the Bundesliga squads know their sides, they know what teams they have, and they know which players they can release, and then for them it's almost like we need to get them out the door. So that's when you come in. Same with Swansea, kind of panicking because he's not signing a new deal by the sounds of it. They could let him go for free next summer. Now, if you did, like I said, if you'd have done that 3 months ago, well, start of the window, they could have asked for 20, 25, pushing 30 million because, there's a whole window left. But now it's at the end of it and there's not quite as much offers as you'd like. Suddenly we put a 10 to 15 million in and they kind of have to accept that. Now, so yeah, on that sense, it's interesting. I think what is really interesting is all the analytical stuff is obviously to do with the pricing, when the best price, who will become available, i.e. a Jed Spence, Amiri. But when you look at the surface of it, it's the obvious stuff. Who's won the championship twice? Daniel Farke. They got him.
Yeah.
Who is the best striker in the championship? Piroe. They got him.
Yeah.
Like, you look at these signings and you're thinking all these analytical stuff, but realistically, they've got the obvious when you think about it. So it's just about timing, isn't it? About when you get these players. You looked at, like I said, you looked at Amiri 2 months ago, and you wouldn't have even dreamed that he'd be coming to Leeds United. You think, oh, he'll have a go with Xavi Alonso again. But he could be now. That's a possibility because we've been patient. We've waited for the right time. Bayer Leverkusen clearly don't want him anymore. They've found players they want, and that's where you strike. If we, like I said, if we'd have got someone early, we'd have gone early with a number 10. He might have been a good player, but now we've waited a little longer, and now the real good players are coming to fruition. Pencil as well, if you can get that over the line. The guy who got 28 goal involvements last season. Like,
I think with Pencil, though, I think one has to exit in order for him to come in.
Potentially with him being a winger, yeah.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know, do you?
Maybe it's the best right back in the right winger in the league, Jamie Shackleton. Maybe Premier League's coming and knocking. You don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't honestly. I think Pencil's that good. I wouldn't be against it. I would honestly try and make that one happen because I think it's not just the fact what he could offer this season. I just think he's someone he could grow in value so much in terms of his age and the profile of player he is. It could be a really smart little investment. That it's. When I look at him, I think that's the type of sign that Brighton would kind of make. You think what I mean? Yeah. In terms of just someone they'd look at and think, his potential and just grow in like 2 or 3 years so much. And it's just, I think it's the fact that we know Sinisterra, if we're being realistic and prudent about it, Sinisterra will not play the full season without an injury. If we're being honest, if he does, and manage to play, the next 40 games without any injury problems, brilliant, massive boost. But being realistic, he will have moments out of the team. Somerville might be a similar scenario, so it would be good to have the depth in those areas. And if it does mean losing Nonto, it probably won't be Nonto, or even maybe Rutter as an outside shout, on loan or something like that. I would kind of do it. I kind of think Panstill is that good.
Yeah.
And I would honestly look at it and say that's something you could do. And it's the fact that he looks as comfortable on the right as he does on the left. And I think in this squad, the way it's kind of built and has been built over the last couple of years, a lot of our wingers, if not all of them apart from Poveda, are better from the left than they are from the right. So it'd be good to have someone who really likes those angles instead of Panstill, because he can just drive on the outside and link up quite nicely. Yeah. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to lose sleep about it. We've already got the quality in those areas. It's just a little 100%. Icing on the cake type of sign that you think that is someone, a bit like a Rafinha kind of deal, where you think that he is someone who just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, and eventually you make easily 20, 25 million profit on, because we've got to look at, things like that, in terms of FFP, long term, in terms of if we are committing to people like Amiri and Piroe, you've got to think about getting the money back as well if it doesn't go fully to plan on the pitch. I know it's quite a boring thing to say, but it's just something you don't want to get caught out on as well at the same time.
100%. Barney says, Niners are thinking ahead. All our signings are Prem quality. The only anger I have is Rads didn't sell last year, cost us the Prem and himself 200 million. Sloth YouTube says, this is why I'll always be a Leeds fan. Ups and downs, as we say. The ups times are all the sweeter because of the downs. Marching on together. Great chat and energy, as always. Cheers, broski. My energy is literally dwindling, though. I can't lie to you. I'm yawning. My head off pillow says I need a monster. I can't have a monster at this time, man. It'll be time for bed. But yeah, I think we're about done, aren't we? I think it's just waiting now till to tomorrow to hopefully hear the Amiri news, which will be good. And I'm secretly playing for a Nicholas Jackson hat-trick for my fantasy Premier League team. But other than that...
You want a Chelsea player to score a hat-trick? That is outrageous, Joe. I am the exact same, actually.
We need it, bro. We need it. We must. We can't have Locks leading our league, by the way. The only reason he's leading it is because he used his bench boost on game week one. A
single game we can use in the bench boost.
Yeah, crazy man.
That is a Jesse Marsh managerial move ever seen.
If putting your best player at right back and putting him on long throws was ever a move in FPL, that would be it. Do you know what I mean? That would be the move.
But this team, genuinely, that we're putting together, even without Jed Spence and Panstill, would batter a Jesse Marsh side. It would batter a Jesse Marsh side, honestly. And that's the frustrating thing, is that we're doing better recruitment now than what we did last summer. Far better recruitment. And Amiri compared to Brendan Aronson. And Amiri's going to cost potentially 20 million less.
Yeah.
This is why you bring in people like Nick Hammond. This is why you let the growing ups in the boardroom. You let the people who know what they're doing, not people who have to be the smartest guys in the room, like Victor Orta. That's going great at Sevilla, by the way. You know, Sevilla starts the season, lost the first 2 La Liga games. Brilliant start to the season, that, isn't it? Yeah, I just thought I'd have to throw that in there as well. That's,
you do right, bro.
That's a lovely little bonus to see. I've not been looking at Sampdoria, not been looking at that, but well, that'll do for now.
Yes, it certainly will. Okay, just before everyone exits Side West, folks, my man, have you put it out, Lockie?
No.
Oh, do you want to? Yeah. Do you want to just make it? Because basically, folks, Lockie's just done his tactical analysis of what Joel Piroe is going to bring. So what's going to happen now, if Lockie's made that live, if you just stick with us, I'm just waiting for it to go live, but it's not showing up at my end. Let me just make it is there. Okay, so let me just
it's a scout report. Like a scout report on him.
Yeah. So what I've done, folks, okay, I've just been shown. Why does it keep saying there's nothing there, man? Just 1 minute, man. I'm going to sort this. I will do it.
YouTube can't believe that we've made it. YouTube are thinking, Leeds have signed Joel Piroe. No, they're trying to get Steve Morrison back, mate.
Actually, wild.
Definitely. Just 1 sec. Right. Redirect. Search video. Just trying to copy it. Just bear with me. I will do this. Technical isn't my tech isn't my strong point. Nothing's showing up, bro.
Let me try again.
It's definitely there because I can see it. Let me just put Lockie Lee to it there. Nothing's coming up, man. That's strange. This is making for great TV, isn't it?
Someone's just put check Wacko Joe. So if someone could put in the comments what's happening on Wacko,
please.
There was something.
Who's on the way now?
Something on Spence. A little like before we started. That's Spence's one, apparently.
Jack, if you can say, because I actually don't have Wacko me, so Oscar has Wacko, don't you, Oscar?
I do, but I'm under like a thingy account because. We get a bit of stick on Wacko, to be fair.
I've heard, bro.
We're not a popular.
I've heard. Message me and went, "You're getting absolutely battered on Wacko," and I went,
"Mate, me, you, we all get battered on Wacko. I'm not gonna lie to you." But it is what it is. Everyone gets battered on Wacko. It is a funny forum, to be fair. I do enjoy using it.
It's because that's where all the cool kids are, clearly, isn't it? On Wacko. Get with the 20th century, will you? Anyway, I'm joking.
You're looking to make yourself popular there, Joe.
I don't give a shit, mate. It is what it is. Right, okay, folks. For whatever reason, this isn't working. It's not showing. I'll give it one last try because basically what someone showed me how to do is when this video ends, it will take you straight to another video, and when I put Lockies in there, it doesn't show up. So I'm thinking it may well be live to live as opposed to live to pre-record. So because it's only showing me live videos at the minute, so that must be what it is. But if you still want some Leeds United content, Lockie's video has just gone live right now. Okay. On a tactical look at what Joel Piroe can give us. So please do go straight on over there, okay? Please smash a like on this video on your way out. Make sure you go over and check Lockie's video out, and of course check Oscar's out in the morning once he's got that uploaded. And we'll see you in a bit. Peace out, folks. And let me just check there. Yeah, right, we're good to go. Peace out. Thank you, folks. Love.